So guys, I'm back from OHN 16, right? 16. OHN 16 was quite possibly my favorite event ever. Granted, I'm probably not as well traveled as people think I am in terms of FGC events, but I'm honestly shocked. There was never a time when I was bored or didn't have any games to play. I loved the location. Bankstown's like this Vietnamese hub, I guess, and it was almost like going through a time portal, like 15 years. And they just took cash for everything. There was no card. And you're walking along the streets, and there's like a bunch of people who've like made food or whatever that morning, and they're just selling it like out the front of places. Just like all these like little street stalls, I guess, and the banh mi's were good. The pho was good. Bankstown's awesome. I don't know why people give it so much garbage. The actual venue itself was really good. 24-hour venue. I didn't use it that much in terms of 24-hour, but it was there. It was in the middle. It's in this. It's like this ballroom, I guess. Up the back of the Bankstown Sports Club, and it's all like very secure. I mean, I don't know what to say, honestly, but I guess how I'll sum it up is I think Sydney is the best place to play fighting games in Australia. Between BKB, between BSB, YSB, there's just so many ways to play fighting games. So many opportunities that a lot of other states can't replicate right now. And this venue, this event was kind of the climax of it for me. I went down to Sydney heaps for Gfinity, and it was always good. But this is like, okay, this is what this community can really do. And it is an absolutely fabulous event. So the Friday kind of started off with just a bunch of casuals, and there was the New South Wales versus Victoria 5 vs 5 Street Fighter competition. So, oh god, Melbourne took it out very cleanly. But by saying cleanly, it is clean in game, but CO, after beating two people, kind of like popped off, and he's got like a new stick, and it's slightly lighter than the old one. So when he popped off, he kind of threw the arcade stick into the monitor and broke it, which sucks for him. But it's probably one of the most memorable events of the event. So shout outs to CO for making OHN even more memorable than it already was. My accommodation was about an hour's walk away. So I would always start the day with an hour's walk to the venue. And I got there at 10 a.m. on the Saturday because I was meant to commentate a pool. However, there was no stream set up until like 90 minutes later. So I didn't get to commentate, which is a bit poopy. But, I mean, yeah, when they realized there wasn't a setup, Fanger and his boys got up and organized it all. Yeah, a bit of a screw up, like a bit of a miscommunication apparently. So my actual pool started at 12. So I got there at 12, ready to play my game, and I had a bye. So I knew I wouldn't play straight away. But I was going to verse the winner of, two people. And neither of those two people showed up at all. So I had a bye, and then my opponent got DQ'd, and I ended up in winners semis, I think, without playing a single game. And I was up against Bug, and out of all of the top level players, I wasn't scared of Bug at all. And I honestly don't know why, because I hold Bug in very, very high regard. I think Bug is one of the smartest players in our scene. So I won that somehow. Yeah, I'll make a video about that particular game later, but that was probably the biggest upset of the weekend for everyone, is me beating Bug. Close game, but yeah, I won. I'll make a video about that entirely separately later. And then after that, I was ninth at that point, so I just needed one more win to make it into top 8. So my first game was against BK, BK Sama, and BK bodied me. But I was having a laugh because as I was playing, literally as we were like loading the game, I could see him on his phone, and he's got the CFN frame data like up for Honda because he's obviously never played a Honda before. He just doesn't know. And it was just so, I was laughing throughout the entire set, which probably didn't help me at all because like in between rounds, he's going through the frame data, and he not even like through the frame data, like trying to get to the frame data, because on CFN you have to log in to your Steam account or your PlayStation account to actually get in and see the frame data. So he's on like the Steam Guard webpage, like going through his email, like getting the code, pasting it into the CFN website to just see the frame data for Honda because he doesn't know it. It's probably worse for me that he was doing that because I was just having a good laugh. But yeah, BK absolutely destroyed me. And then I went down into losers and had to fight Riku, who I didn't know who he was until just recently. But he has a bunch of different accounts online. I think his main account is a Bison that's 29k LP, something around there. But no, like he's very good. I've versed some of his ults before. Like he knows a bunch of different characters. He beat Hayabusa with his Dalsim. I remember him for his Cody, which he used to give me a bunch of trouble in ranked. But he played his Bison, and I played my Honda, and it was not good for me. And I think in future I'll end up playing Alex in that matchup. Honda's no good, man. Not against Bison. Not against a lot of characters, but I think Bison is one of those ones which for me I'm not going to play Honda against Bison ever again. I just don't think it's the future. So that put me out at 9th, which is a bit strange because I only technically played 3 games. But, you know, if you win 3 games straight in winners, that sends you a far way, I suppose. So, I mean, I'm not entirely disappointed. It would have been nice if I could have gotten top 8, but I don't think my Honda's there yet. It's definitely not. I think Honda is very tech heavy, and over the past couple of weeks, I've really just been trying to focus on like how to actually play Honda kind of in the ground game, in the neutral, like mentality wise. But yeah, I need to actually just sit in the lab and do some crazy tech stuff. Just steal stuff from Freezer basically, because that man's actually good. Yeah, people saying Freezer doesn't have a Honda. I don't believe it. I've seen only a small amount of his Honda, and I know that Freezer has a Honda. It's very good. I'm not the best Honda in Australia. It's definitely Freezer without a doubt. And then yeah, as soon as I finished my Street Fighter, I had to get pulled across onto Sam Show. And Sam Show was weird for me because I love that game, but I haven't played it since the last patch. And the last patch was big. They changed a lot. And I used to really enjoy playing Kyoshiro, but he was unplayable at launch. Like, completely unplayable. Just not... He's not a good character. And you're like, I like playing bad characters, but that Kyoshiro at launch was unplayable. He was beyond bad. And I was like starting to learn Jubei. So I went into this tournament and I was like, well, I know Kyoshiro has been buffed quite a lot, but I don't really know how. You know, I haven't practiced with him or whatever. So I'll just play some Jubei. He shouldn't have changed too much. And my first opponent, I I saw him pick Jubei, and I was like, oh, well, I don't particularly want to play a mirror, so I'll just pick Kyoshiro. I ended up winning that game. That one wasn't on stream. It was on the stream setup, but the stream setup wasn't set up yet. So I have a little like camcorder version of it. But all in all, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I lost 2-0 or 0-2 from that point, but I don't know. Sam Show is just such a fun game. I really enjoy it, and I hope that the community continues to embrace death or whatever. Hopefully when the PC version comes out, everyone picks it up, because I think it's genuinely one of the most fun games in the community right now, and it's not really like a game you have to main, which is refreshing, because there's so many games right now where, you know, I don't want to pick up Tekken, because if I pick up Tekken, I have to put thousands of hours into it. Like, that's kind of my mentality, is I have to put thousands of hours into Tekken to just be able to enjoy it. But Sam Show, that's not the case at all. You can pick it up, learn some basic stuff, and you know, you'll have fun. And it's refreshing to have a game that I can play in tournament without putting too much effort into. So yeah, I technically had a bye, I guess, before I beat that first player. So I don't know where I ended up, but I basically went 2-2. So after that, I didn't have anything else on. I thought maybe I'd sign up to another DIY tournament or something if something came up the next day. But I really just wanted to play casuals with everyone there. There was so many players from Sydney, from Melbourne. There's a player from Darwin, and I just got to sit down and play lots and lots of casuals with them. And man, if you've never been to an offline event, just go. It's so much better. It's the way fighting games were meant to be played. So I'm actually shocked at how many games I got to play. There was just enough setups, you know? There wasn't too many times when I was like, oh, all the setups are free. Or, sorry, there wasn't too many times when I thought, you know, like all the setups were taken, or I didn't feel like I could edge my way in or whatever, or ask people for sets. You know, I got there nice and early on the Sunday. I just sent out a message to everyone on Discord saying, like, I'm going to be here playing, like, all day. Just tap me on the shoulder, because I've probably been playing the other person for ages. And I went through a bunch of people, played a bunch of games, and, you know, just kept kind of developing my Honda. But yeah, I mean, you probably know where the summary of this is going, but the long story short is OHN was amazing. And even if I don't travel that much next year because of my funds or whatever, I'm almost certain I'll be making the trip down to OHN again. I love the venue. I love the location. I love the people. I love the tournament. I have genuinely nothing bad to say about OHN. My only little gripe is that the stream setup wasn't set up at 10 o'clock like it said it was. Yeah, the TOs were told that there was something organized, and there wasn't. But I mean, honestly, it's not gonna dampen my experience. Like, damn, man, it's a good tournament. Yeah, quick shout out to the entire Sydney scene. Like, you guys absolutely killed that weekend. Thank you so much, and I'll be back next year. Also, while we're shouting out people, just thanks to you guys. Thanks to everyone for being a part of the fighting game community. Doesn't matter what game you play. If you turned up to that event, like, thank you for being a part of it and making our scene as good as it can be. If you're on the fence about coming to an event, please come to an event. They're amazing, and it's always better to play people offline, in person. And shout outs to you guys for supporting me. I would have never gotten this much into the scene if you guys didn't support me while I was streaming Street Fighter and fighting games. Shout outs to Darksided for helping me do this stuff as well. Just the general the general emotions I have coming into this is like, my God, man, I couldn't have done this without you, and I'm so glad that you guys pulled me into this scene. So thanks to everyone for being a part of the greatest community ever.